All right, what's going on out there, folks? Rooster here in Tennessee, another video. This is an amp that actually just came in and is sold. It's a 4-pill HG2879, standard HG2879. This one's going to Dan. Diesel, if you're watching this video, your C box will be here any day. I know you went with the 2879C because the shipment hadn't came in yet, but lo and behold, it came in. And anyway, so this video is for Dan. Standard HG2879s. He's going to run this thing with a Striker 447. So not going to see the output that we're seeing in this video, not quite. But this is a stout one. You know, every now and again you get an amp that's got a stouter set of transistors in it. Outperforms those around it. Kind of same thing with radios. Maybe components are a little harder, maybe the final's a little harder or whatever, but this one's doing a hell of a good job, doing a real good job. So we're going to demonstrate it. Unidin's doing 35, 38 watts peak, something like that, 10 watts average. We're driving it into the Texas Star 1-pill, and I'm going to show you guys the dead key coming out of both of these. And the output on this is going to be about 140, 135 watts. This is a pretty hot Texas Star modulator too. Single 2290 in here. And I recommend on the standard HGs, I don't recommend more than 150. Now, other people may say otherwise, but that's what I recommend safely. About 150, 150 or so peak. And, you know, probably around 60 watts average or so. That's what I recommend. Other people can say otherwise. You can take their advice if you want. I recommend 150 watts. Also, keep your SWR down. And 14.5 volts, which is what we're running today. We're running all three pieces on a 90 amp power supply. So if anybody tells you that you need 100 amps or you need 120 amps to run a 4-pill, they're fudging you, because we're running the radio, which draws, you know, just less than 5 amps. This, which draws less than 10 amps, and then we're running the amp off of it. With that being said, let's key our Unidin up, 50 watt scale, 50 watt slug, see what it's keying. So that's the middle scale. It looks like we're keying about 1.5 watts into it. So what we'll do, we'll just come over here and power our Texas Star on. 4 watts or so. Now, here's one thing. People wonder why I don't like variables in amplifiers. If you were paying attention to what I just showed you just then, that's the variable, you know, losing or gaining tolerance, or heating up, you know, the resistor's getting hot or whatever, and it's allowing more power to come out, basically. So these variables, they're not that stable, okay? Just because you set it at a 5 watt dead key, doesn't mean it's going to stay there, a 4 watt dead key. The variable in my radio, rock solid. Key it down for 30 minutes, it won't change. These things, they fluctuate a little bit, so it's better to play it safe and keep it low than to run it high, because let's say you run it at 15 watts and then it creeps up to 20 and all of a sudden you're keying, you know, 200 something watts out of your amp. Run it lower. If you're going to run it too high or too low, run it a little bit too low. You're better off and safer that way. Okay, let's turn on our Fatboy. Come over here and grab our 1,000 watt slug. If you guys can see that. There we go, 1,000 watt slug. It's 1,000 watt element, we should say, to be proper. Okay. Now that's in there all set. Our peak kit's not on, but we are running 14.5 volts. Let's see if we can focus in here. Okay, average power first. Excuse me, average power first, bottom scale. Less than 100 watts. Audio. Audio. 400 average. Stroking it pretty good for a 1 pill hitting it. Now we're on peak. Still looking at the same scale. Audio, 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 900, audio test, 1, 2, 14.5 volts, dead in, right around 100 watts, swinging about 900, audio, 1, 2. Not falling back, not jittering around, doing anything crazy. One more time on average. Audio, actually a little over 400 there. So that's it, guys. This one's already sold. Can get more of them in. I've got another feller that decided to go with the C's. He was waiting on one of these come in. I got a shipment. It wasn't them. Then this one shows up a couple days later, and I guess the rest is history. So won't do as much with a Striker 447 hitting it, but I've got some brand new 447s. I didn't want to take one out of the box to test it, and I'd rather test it at full output rather than halfway testing it. You know, before I ship something, I want to see it do maximum output, which that's probably not maximum, but that's pretty close. 140 watts. I mean, you put 10 more watts in, you may gain 100. I mean, you might go up to 1,000, but nobody's going to hear the difference between 900 and 1,000. With the Striker hitting it, it's hard for me to say exactly what I expect out of it. I would assume, 700 watts, 650, 700. It may even hit 800 watts. Wouldn't be surprised a bit if it hit 800. So that's it, guys. Standard HG2879. Pretty hot little box doing 400 watts average and a little past. Think it'll be a good one for him. As always, keep your SWR low with these 14.5 volts or less, 150 watts peak or less. I was keying 4 or 5 watts into it, and it was dead keying 100, so that's probably the ballpark I would run it in. Just be careful out there with your amplifiers. Keep an eye on your SWR. Pill boxes, I mean, they are what they are. It just takes a few flaws and a few hiccups, and you'll be, smelling smoke. But if you have all your ducks in a row, you can run one with ease. I've got a guy locally that's been running one of these. He's ran it in his mobile. Now he's running it in his house, and he's driving the snot out of it, getting over 1,000 watts, and he hasn't lost a watt yet. So I appreciate the views, guys. Sorry for rambling on. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's pouring rain here in Tennessee. Questions, comments, complaints, let me know. Shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. All right, you guys take care. See you, bye.